I think we really need to be informed about, because if we're not informed about it, we can't fight for the insurance companies to cover it. And without insurance companies' help, there's so many people who don't receive treatment. Only 1 in 10 people with an eating disorder receive treatment. So I think it's really, really crucial that we be informed about them. That summer, we went on outings and we went to the movies together, and it was a really supportive group. I was really lucky. I know a couple people who were there that didn't bond as well with their group. Not that they hated them, but we just all kind of clicked together. And we were really supportive. We went to the movies and we would count how many proteins were in like the popcorn, and which there aren't any, but how many like food groups were in our snacks. And we would always check and text each other at night saying, "Did you finish your meal plan today?" And like it was just a really nice environment. After I left the day program, I went back to the IOP, which is, they kind of use that as a transitioner, either on your way into more intense treatment or on your way out of more intense treatment, to kind of get you back into the real world. And so I did that for like 3 weeks, I think, into the first week of school, the sophomore year. And my last day of treatment was my first day of school. So it was kind of like a weird transition. And I asked for another week, but my insurance wouldn't cover it. So I stayed there just for that night was my last night. And it was kind of a bittersweet thing. But at that point, everyone else who was in my core day group was kind of moving out at the same time. So I think we went to the diner once for someone's birthday, and that was kind of like our last meal together. And meals are it's such an emotional time. We had MST after, which stands for meal support therapy, and you would rate your anxiety on a scale from 1 to 10. And after that, they would ask you, are you comfortably full, or uncomfortably full? And all of us would whine, and you'd be like, my anxiety's a 12, but I'm uncomfortably full, like every time. Like we could have had half an apple and be like, I'm so uncomfortably full. Like, oh my gosh, we were such drama queens about it. But yeah, so I kind of transitioned back into school, and it was hard, but at the same time it was nice because in IOP, the second time I was in IOP, I did meet someone my age, and she's in Wilton, and we text, and even now we text, but it was helpful transitioning back into school because her last day at IOP was like near my last day, give or take, I can't remember exactly. But like when we were in school, I would text her and be like, I'm in the commons right now, I'm eating lunch, and I'm really having a hard time with this. And she'd be like, okay, well here's what I would do. And I kind of go back and forth and vice versa. So it was nice to have older role models to be like, don't become like me, don't be here in 20 years, please like get yourself out now while you can. But it was kind of nice to have someone my age who knew what I was well not exactly, but pretty much what I was going through. Sophomore year, I kind of like, I don't know, I feel like a myth about eating disorders is kind of like once you start eating, you're like done and you're treated and you're done with it. But it's kind of tied into a bunch of different things. It's tied into like a sense of control, a need for a sense of control, and it can be tied into anything and everything. We have someone there who's a victim of sexual assault, and a lot of people were struggling with sexual orientation, and there's just so many places that could possibly be pulled from. And a lot of times, if you have an eating disorder, you're also dealing with multiple mental illnesses at once, like depression, anxiety, and OCD, and I don't even so many things in the book that people had. Sophomore year, I kind of moved from coping skill A to coping skill B. So from eating disorder, I kind of like hit depression and started to self-injure. And after that, I kind of got through that. I was still seeing a private therapist. So kind of working that with her. Junior year was kind of, I don't remember junior year. I remember the start of junior year being like strong and being like, I'm eating 3 meals a day, 2 snacks, like I'm set to go. I'm pretty much normalized eating what I crave, give or take, some, kind of still struggling with fear foods, but overall stable. Until like mid-junior year when like really, applications started coming in, and like, I don't think any of us were sophomore year. Ooh. No, it's okay. You'll survive, I promise. So junior year, it gets kind of like stressful and intense, and I started like regressing and relapsing, but I feel like a relapse is almost worse than the original disorder because you know better at that point, and you kind of have the recovery voice in your head saying like, but last time all you needed to do was this, and you would, that would make it a little easier, but kind of have the eating disorder voice back and saying like, no, but you're not good enough if you're not perfect, if like you're gonna let someone down if you finish your lunch, or like you're not perfect if you gain a certain amount of weight. So that junior year, by the end of junior year, I was sick again, and the summer between junior and senior year, I was supposed to go to Costa Rica to teach English for 10 days. And my private therapist was like, absolutely not. Like, you're not going. My parents were like, you're not going. There's no way. We're sending you in the middle of a rainforest with the amount of weight you have on you and with the amount of calories you're intaking a day, which was like not enough to sustain. And I'm not sending you somewhere where you're going to sweat and you're going to exercise, and it's just not a good combination. So once I realized that was in jeopardy, I kind of kicked it into high gear and started doing my meal plans again, and doing 3 meals a day, 2 snacks a day, and 1 Ensure, which was my, the Ensure with the protein supplements. I don't know exactly what's in that anymore. I'm not the labels, but it was my meal plan to go back to a healthy weight, and so I started doing that and getting my act together again, and stopped exercising so much. I still kind of had the urges, but if you replace it, exercising and all this is really just a coping skill, and coping skill for stress or for anything else that you're going through. So if you replace it with, I replaced it with friendship bracelet making. I didn't keep one of those. Like, you don't even understand. Like, I made them like
a million
all over on my wrist, all over my bedroom floor, like the strings, like all around my house.
For a month.
So, there's plenty in treatment too. We had a coping skills group. We have like art therapy, meditation therapy, and coping skills therapy, and like a couple different things. But for coping skills, a lot of us would make bracelets, charm bracelets, or friendship bracelets. So we'd all come out with our wrists like full. And people would be like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" We'd be like, "In the store." Like, so I ended up going to Costa Rica, and it changed my entire life because it's so moving to see that we measure beauty in jean sizes, and they measure beauty in whether they get to play hopscotch that day, and they measure beauty in nature and family and happiness, and if it's raining, they go out and shower in it, and it's the most beautiful culture I've ever been in, and there's no billboards, and even if there's billboards towards the tourist areas, they're not airbrushed to the extent that ours are nearly, and it's just the most beautiful place in the entire world, and I love it. And I came back completely like, I was so over the eating disorder. I still feel like doing it. It's exhausting. I'm so over it. It's just not worth my time. There's so much good in the world. There's so much good to do and to live in that it's just like, why bother wasting my time, how many calories when I can be out teaching children who, I don't know, I just love it. So I started doing that, and I started HIPS Club at the end of sophomore year. I forgot to insert that. HIPS stands for Health, Image, Power, Success, and I started that. It was originally for like eating disorder awareness, but it turned into more of like a self-esteem building, feel good kind of club. And we do activities like cross the line, and I gave a presentation. This is my second time. My first, like, this past Monday was the first eating disorder related meeting we had in a while, which is just when I gave a speech. And other than that, then we raise money for the MANA Fund, which pays for the treatment of eating disorders for people whose insurance won't cover it. So we do that, and yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything moving out. Eating disorders, there's just so many myths about them, and I just really encourage everyone to to go learn to educate yourselves and then to educate others because everyone, I mean, no one is alone. No one is like alone no matter what. And there's so many things that still affect my life from it. I have terrible blood circulation, it's the worst. My fingertips are always cold. My started getting mittens one year for Hanukkah because my hands were just always cold. And I have stains on the back of my teeth from purging. And I can't listen to someone speak about the gym without like getting not nervous, but just kind of like I'm like sensitive about it. If someone speaks about the gym, like it's not like I have to leave the room. Like I'm fine with it. I couldn't walk into high school if that was the case. But you know, you just kind of have to tune it out. Either tune it out or fight it and be like, go to the gym because you want to be healthy. Don't go because you want to look good in a bathing suit. Like this doesn't make any sense. I mean, it does, but I don't know. I think there's so many more beautiful things than jean sizes. And who said that size 0 is beautiful anyway? Like, who said that? I don't know, but they're not on my good list. I don't know, and I encourage you to trash. We had trash a day at treatment, and we threw away all these old magazine photos and all these old jeans, all our gold clothes, and things that were just not healthy to have around. Why would you keep stuff around that doesn't make you feel good? So, yeah, I hope this was informative. I'm not moving.
I think that's the whole purpose of everything. Again, I mean, it's really, it takes, you know, a certain kind of courage and, you know, to be able to share your story, and I'm really pleased you did it here as well, to be part of this program. And I want to invite questions and reflections and
Talk a lot about the myths, like huge myths that you've heard us learn about. What are some of the really big myths that people aren't aware of or aren't informed about?
The fact that weight has to do with it, I mentioned that at the beginning. You know, you can't tell someone's status in recovery by their weight. A huge myth that I forgot to mention, thank you so much for bringing this up at the HIPS meeting, was that you're not sick until you're in treatment, or you're not sick until you're underweight. Like, if you're sick, you're sick. That's it. I mean, you can be at a healthy weight and still require treatment because it's just there's just no status. You know, there's no like gold star that you need to attain. And I used to think that I was only really sick. I was only got the label of anorexia if I was in inpatient, which is where you literally live at the hospital, and it almost got me there. So don't do that, and don't believe that. I was just, you know, you can't judge. You can't be like you were sicker than the other one. You know, you just don't know. And another myth: bulimics are underweight. Anorexics can be overweight. Bulimics can be underweight. Can be overweight. Anorexics can be both. And, I mean, there's just so many stereotypes to break. So always keep an open mind and open eyes and open ears.
so anorexia, is that partly defined by the rate of weight loss?
Yes.
So,
Yeah. And they're changing the DSM because the DSM was 15% underweight is anorexia, but I mean it's just ridiculous. Like you can totally be overweight and still have the mentality of an